This is the Ureshi Odoroki show.
I'm Yugana.
And I'm Sikatsu. And today we're going to be reviewing Sword Art Online.
Indeed.
Yes.
Season 1.
Even though, I swear I thought it was 2 seasons. I keep thinking that the seasons change when the theme song changes.
Typically seasons are per 25, 26 episodes. Unless it's like a mini-series where there's like 13.
Okay. So Sword Art Online is about this guy who is really into online gaming. And I'm gonna start over. Okay. So Sword Art Online.
It's about this guy.
Sword Art Online is about this guy, and he's really into online gaming. And
Yeah.
he's got this virtual helmet thing called Nerve Gear.
Well, it's like in
Puts
this
it on.
future where like...
Yeah, it's like 2024 or something like that.
Well, it's like 2024, something like that. It's like 15 years in the future, and it's the world of online gaming has like surpassed where it is now, and so like, you know, normally you would buy a game and like play with everybody, you know, online. Well, now it's like you can put all your senses on the virtual world
yeah,
and
on the virtual world,
experience
experience
everything. So it's called
everything.
the full dive system.
Full dive, that's it. Nerve Gear full dive system. Okay,
Yeah.
so Nerve Gear is it's almost like the name brand of the helmet because
It is the name brand.
okay, because
Nerve Gear.
his sister had something different. She had the
Well,
little visor thing.
that's because there's something that happens when they plug it in. And there's like 1,000 people that got this first copy of the game. And the guy's like, you can't log out. If you die in the game, you die in real life.
And if
I'll
they
fry
try-
your brain.
And if someone tries to take the Nerve Gear off of you in the real world, then you'll die there too.
There's like
and
300 people have
already
died.
tried because that happened. And he shows
Yeah.
like clips and stuff, and you see
Oh my gosh, and it's like
the main
so
guy
intense.
character's little sister crying or whatever and everything. And
Kirito, say his name.
I can't ever say it right.
Kirito.
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 And we're going to introduce them as their names later. I just call him main guy for now until we introduce as the names.
Kirito.
Kirito. Makes friends with a guy named Klein, and you know, that helps him figure stuff out.
Yeah, so-
and they go to the town of beginnings, and then all of a sudden this smoky guy comes out of nowhere.
Well, that's what just happened. He told him.
Yeah, and then he tells them, you guys can't leave, and that's how that was introduced into there. And then after that all happened, you have a panic. Well, then the funniest part of that panic scene for me was when the guy decides he's going to make all the characters look like their normal selves and not the avatars that they chose. Well,
Yeah.
a lot of them, they basically look the same, just maybe a little differences. Like Kirito, he had longer hair. Then his hair shortens and he looks more cuter instead of more mature looking. Klein, I don't think he had facial hair, and then when he looks different, he's got facial hair.
And a bandana.
And a bandana. So he looked really cool. Most of the people did. Well, there was this couple that was freaking out, and it was
Yeah.
like this little girl and this tall guy, and he's all like, I'll protect you, blah, 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 and he pulls her hand, he's like, we're getting out of here. Then when the guy decides, hey, I'm going to change you all to your normal
Well, no,
selves.
it was a trick. It's like, I've left you a gift, and it was a mirror. So instead of having an avatar, it's yourself. So basically, even though you're in this virtual world,
Yeah.
it's you in this
It's-
virtual world, not anybody else.
It's not
He
anybody
basically
else.
like cut the crap, and then it's like he put you in the virtual world, not any
And
persona or
changed-
anything
yeah,
else.
okay, so it changed everyone's avatar to look like themselves. Well,
Right.
the little girl turned out to be a tall, skinny guy.
Yeah, that was
And the
hilarious.
big buff guy turned out to be a fat, short guy, and they were all like the guy's
what?
like, what? You said you were gonna be
said you were 17.
You said you were a girl! Stuff like that. It was
Oh
so
my gosh,
funny.
yeah, but
It's like, see how people can make themselves look, it kind of opened up the danger of online gaming and trying to get into relationships on
Yeah,
online gaming.
But yeah, like the first 7 episodes are like establishing the world that they're in because they're trapped there for 2 years.
It had been a couple of months though, or was it a
It
whole
was
2
2
years?
years they were in the game. The first 7 episodes are like establishing the world because overall they're there for 2 years. And the first 7 episodes, nothing majorly happens. You just like they get stronger. And the second part of the first arc, the second 7 episodes is like plot. Basically
And
plot where
builds
we meet
up.
Asuna and like they're trying to get to those upper levels and then they get to
Right.
like level 60 and 50
And
and
you
70.
figure out that Kirito had a special skill, the dual
yeah,
wielding.
special ability. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And
It's
he
like, what?
exposes it to everybody else. I'm just like, that just makes it even awesomer.
I know, right? And then, yeah,
Just
then,
like, yes, 2
Yeah.
swords.
yeah. Then the
Reminds
second,
me of Zuko from the Avatar: The Last Airbender with his 2 swords.
yeah, well, that was pretty cool too.
I love the dual wielding.
Yeah, well, that's different because that's like it can be a single sword, but it can also be double.
Uh-huh,
That's
right.
really cool.
Right.
But
just like the motion of the two swords. So
yeah, but the second 14 episodes is like a different arc, even though it's the same season, and it's Elfhome Online. So basically, some people are still trapped in SAO, and they're trying to get them out.
Does Kirito know that all those? No, he doesn't. See, at first he doesn't know that all those people are still. No, I think he does know that so many people haven't woken up, but he doesn't know they're trapped in Alfheim.
Right, but they are.
Alfheim
Online.
Alfheim Online, but he knows that Asuna is from the pictures that Agal shows him.
Yeah.
He figures that out, and then he has to borrow the game, and he tries it out again. And I could just only imagine what was going through his head once he finally got out of SOA after 2 years his sister's
SAO.
crying. What'd I say?
SOA.
SAO. SAO, my bad. SAO. After he gets out of SAO, and his sister's crying, and he looks terrible. He just looks very sickly.
It's been 2 years
I
sitting
know.
in the bed.
Right, and I was, he's got the IVs giving him nutrition, everything keeping him alive, but he's not been actually eating or exercising, so he looked awful. But when he wakes up, and he looks terrible and everything, and you can only imagine what was going through his head when he decided to put the nerve gear back on.
Oh yeah, I mean,
And he was just like, he was looking at it like he wants to go in there, he wants to save Asuna, but he doesn't.
I mean,
I'm sure he had fear running through him too, because he didn't know if it was going to do the same thing or not. And at one point in the show, they talk about a special school for all the SAO students or players who come out of it and everything. They have a special school for them because they went through all that traumatic experience and stuff. And I'm thinking, that'd be interesting, I guess, get them out of that traumatic experience, because it did say in some of the games that some of the players looked utterly insane.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't kill themselves, but they had to be taken care of, and they didn't battle or anything. They had to be taken care of because they went insane because they couldn't take it anymore, staying in the virtual world.
She hasn't finished it yet.
Oh, well, yeah, but I've watched enough to know. I'm only like 3 episodes away from finishing it, so we're going to go ahead and say I finished it for now. Just, So, I watched enough to know that I can review it and say it's wonderful.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying you can't review. She just doesn't know the final ends. What are you doing?
I'm trying to do the 2 thumbs up.
Oh yeah.
You're supposed to do it too.
You didn't give me a cue, so.
I don't know. It's up there with my favorites, including Bleach.
Yeah.
I think I'm more for the type with all the swords and stuff. Guns are alright. I like guns. They're fun to do, but I really, swords in anime is my absolute favorite because of all the fluent moves and stuff like that. I like that kind
She
of
says
battling.
guns because the second season of SAO comes out this July, and it's about guns. Gun
What's
Gale
the name
Online.
of it? Yeah, Gun Gale Online. We're gonna have guns now. I wonder what they're gonna do next after guns.
Well,
Because they've already done, not swords, then they've done swords with fairies. Now they're doing guns. Are they gonna do guns with fairies? Just kidding.
You
It won't be a
haven't
pattern.
finished it, so you don't know the possibilities because it's kind of hinted at at the end of season 1.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will for sure finish it as soon as possible.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's our review for Sword Art Online.
Yes.
Must see. It is fantastic.
Indeed.
Love the music. The music is awesome. I will totally put that on a soundtrack. Playlist for me, for sure.
Yeah.
It will be one of the ones to get along with the Bleach soundtrack, the Sword Art Online soundtrack. I wouldn't mind the Death Note soundtrack because the music was really good too. Any Hayao Miyazaki movie soundtrack, awesome. Hayao Miyazaki. Hayao Miyazaki. So, I guess that's our review for today. But
I guess that's our review.